Good evening, everybody. You're probably wondering why another one today. All I can say is that Eric Cozy warned me that if I didn't prove my fitness and stamina, then I wouldn't even be considered for another marathon. So here goes. Here's a look at some more of the fall and further fall and fall of Sweaty Prize. Here are some more of the press reports carrying on from where we left off yesterday, and I particularly like this one. This is September 20th, Monday, later on in the morning, 10:35, from the Associated Press. It says, the attorney for the Wisconsin prosecutor caught sending racy, they've now changed it to racy text messages, says if anyone tries to remove his client from office, he would argue other district attorneys have done worse and kept their jobs. I wonder what they could have done that's worse. We shall soon find out. Attorney Robert J. Cranen told the Associated Press on Monday he would fight any attempts to kick Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz from his post. Well, judging by the size of Ken, I reckon you'd need pretty big boots to kick him from a post, but let's hope that somebody gets the right size of boots to do that. Kratz, the Sweaty Prize. Mr. Sweaty DNA acknowledged last week he sent 30 text messages to a domestic abuse victim in 3 days. And we know the contents of those 30 text messages. Governor Jim Doyle has said he was conferring with Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen. And just put that into perspective, J.B. Van Hollen is the Attorney General. He's let me get this right, he's a Republican, but Jim Doyle is actually a Democrat. So Jim Doyle, Democrat governor, has said he was conferring with the Attorney General, J.B. Van Hollen, and reviewing the process for removal. If Doyle seeks to remove him for cause, Cranen says Kratz could contest the decision in a hearing. Cranen says other district attorneys have committed more serious misconduct related to, and get this, withholding evidence and kept their jobs. Withholding evidence. Wow. Isn't that interesting, eh? I think Kratz actually manages to tick both boxes there. Next, Madison, Wisconsin, Associated Press. Oh, here we go. Here is one actually by Ryan Foley, who we must all congratulate for having first confronted and having to spend 20 minutes in the presence of the Sweaty Prize, I believe in his office. This is Ryan J. Foley of the Associated Press writing that a Wisconsin prosecutor had told a domestic abuse victim he was considering a lesser charge against her ex-boyfriend before sending her text messages trying to start a relationship. Stephanie Van Grohl told investigators that Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz asked whether she minded or cared if he reduced the charge against her ex-boyfriend from a felony to a misdemeanor. According to records obtained by the Associated Press on Monday, she responded during the conversation last October that strangulation was a felony. And we've all seen the pictures of Stephanie Van Grohl. It's strange to think why the ex-boyfriend would snap like that. Anyway, she then, minutes after she left his office, Kratz started sending her a series of text messages in which he tried to start an affair. Kratz and his attorney did not immediately return messages. Next one. Very brief. This is also on Monday at 3:40 in the afternoon. The previous one was just before midday. News alert from the Associated Press. Newswire, Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle says he will try to remove prosecutor who, in inverted commas, sexted abuse victim. Next one, this is also Monday. 10 minutes later, Madison, Wisconsin. Associated Press. Wisconsin's governor says he'll start the process to remove a prosecutor caught sending sexually harassing text messages to a domestic abuse victim as soon as he gets a proper complaint. At a news conference Monday in Madison, Wisconsin, Governor Jim Doyle said he was appalled by Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz's behaviour. He says he first needs to get a verified complaint from a taxpayer in Calumet County because the abused victim does not live in that county. Kratz has acknowledged sending 30 text messages in 3 days last year to a woman while he was prosecuting her ex-boyfriend in an abuse case. He apologised and went on medical leave but has refused to resign. Wisconsin governors have the power to remove county officials like Kratz for cause. They've got cause. Another one here from Ryan Foley. Governor Jim Doyle says he will start the process to remove a prosecutor caught sending sexually harassing text messages to a domestic abuse victim as soon as he gets a proper complaint. At a news conference in Madison, Doyle said he was appalled by Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz's behaviour and he would move to have him removed from office. He says he first needs to get a verified complaint from a taxpayer in Calumet County. The abuse victim does not live in that county. Kratz has acknowledged sending 30 text messages in 3 days last year to a woman while he was prosecuting her ex-boyfriend in an abuse case. He apologised and went on medical leave Monday but has refused to resign. Wisconsin governors have the power to remove county officials like Kratz for cause. The Legislative Reference Bureau says it is not aware of any other cases where that has happened. His attorney says he plans to contest his removal. Obviously, it's quite interesting how, unless it was the same reporter, just Ryan Foley, 25 minutes apart, it's basically the same message, but I was quite happy to read it twice because it deals with the downfall of Ken Kratz. I could read these over and over again, and I'm sure you could listen to them over and over again. But we'd better move on to another one. Next one. This is Tuesday, so the next day. Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle made a long political career as a no-nonsense prosecutor standing up for victims. In fact, yes, he was a district attorney, and then I believe he was also Attorney General before becoming governor. And Jim Doyle is quoted as being quite a powerful governor because he's obviously been in office, in various offices for so long. And anyway, let's carry on. Now, it says the lame duck governor, I don't know why it's called the lame duck governor, now must deal with what to do about a district attorney who sent racy text messages to a domestic abuse victim. I don't know why he's a lame duck governor, but anyway. An outraged Doyle said Monday he would start the process to consider removing Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz, and that he hopes to make a decision in a month. Yes, here we go. Doyle is a former district attorney and attorney general who leaves the governor's office in January, so maybe that's why he's considered the lame duck. Kratz has acknowledged sending 30 text messages in 3 days last year to a woman while he was prosecuting her ex-boyfriend in an abuse case. Doyle says he's deeply troubled by what happened. Okay, I think we've got time for one more. Later on the Tuesday. Here we go. Here's the who was it that was invited on the date? Was it Dawn King? I can't remember. I think it was. The lawyer for a Wisconsin prosecutor says allegations that he invited a woman on a date to an autopsy are, quote, completely bogus. Bob Cranen, the attorney for Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz, says Kratz did go on a date with the woman in January and did get a call about an autopsy at dinner. However, the woman, who I'm sure we're on about Dawn King, says, the woman complained to Governor Jim Doyle's office that Kratz invited her to a woman's autopsy, provided I act as his girlfriend and would wear high heels and a skirt. She says he also shared confidential details about the investigation with her. Cranen says the woman never complained at the time and is, quote, coming out of the woodwork now. He says Kratz has acknowledged sending inappropriate text messages seeking an affair with a crime victim, but flat out denies the autopsy invitation. Oh well, I suppose that means then that Kratz is going to survive all the calls for his resignation. Or maybe not, Mr. Bob Cranen. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today. Would just like to point out as well that as well as doing, obviously that's at least 3 today, possibly one other lined up. Thanks to the StreamYards, I can tell you that I've got a few more guests lined up to come and have a chat, including Linda K. Listening. Linda, she's going to join me sometime soon, as are Fen and Julie of the 80 More Things podcast, as is Mitch, who is he is the 4th guest on 80 More Things, so it'll be number 5 podcast. It's coming out soon, but we might get the chance to have a quick chat with Mitch before that one comes out. And he's kind of elusive. He's a bit like the Lord Voldemort, but Chad Keller is still around somewhere, and I keep exchanging messages with him, so hopefully at some point we will track down the elusive Mr. Keller and organise a chat with him. He's been busy doing a radio chat with Haunted House Media recently. In fact, it was just after Ken Kratz and Sean Reck had been on the same show. So anyway, we look forward obviously to catching up with all of those people, and you never know, provided I've demonstrated suitable stamina, maybe even Eric Jose himself will come and join us for a wee blether. Anyway, catch you again soon. Bye for now.